Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good Megan. It's nice to see you, Lady for Justice. Carol, trust the process. Little Orange Man, good morning. Mary, good morning. Dawn, it's nice to see you. All of our beautiful mods. Melanie, good morning, good morning, good morning. Faye, it's nice to see you. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up. Also, a lot of people want to know, how can we help you, Betty? How can we help you? We love your show. We love your show, Betty. How can we help you? Very easy. The best way you can help Bullhorn Betty is hitting that like button and sharing this information out to your family and friends, putting it on your Facebook, putting it on your X account. Sharing this stuff, because if you're interested in it, most of your friends and family most likely will be interested in it as well. We do talk about true crime. Right now we're dealing with something that's not really criminal in nature. At least from where we're sitting, it doesn't appear to be criminal in nature. Good morning, Sonia. It's nice to see you. Narita, good morning. Leslie. Tonka Girl, hello. Honest to God, why would you sit there and play with your little voice changer, change things and sound effects when you're talking about people? Am I on a different, do I have a voice? Is my voice not right on here? Did I hit a button? Shouldn't be, should be right. But anyways, Tonka Girl, whoever this is, can somebody block this? For you to be that rude on my channel after being here long enough to know better, you don't deserve to come back here. Make sure she doesn't come back here at all. But people make mistakes. I mean, this is a live broadcasted show. If you don't know how to handle yourself and act like an adult, you can kiss my ass. First and foremost, but to be this nasty on a Monday, shame on you. I hope the rest of your week is miserable, okay? And I'm not going to pray for you this week, Tonka Girl. I'm not going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that you stub your toe. And God can pray, and people here that are religious can pray for poor little Bullhorn Betty for being so nasty. And that's okay. I'll sleep just fine tonight. So anyways, getting back to this case, we do have some victims identified. Law enforcement hasn't publicly identified the victims. I was going through here. It does look like there is an article that did identify, I believe, several of them, about 11 people, but we have 16 people missing. And so we've got most of the victims listed. I thought it would be great for you guys to learn more. It breaks my heart seeing these. It looks like two brothers, both worked in the same building. You know, what a devastation. I heard that a mom and a son worked in the same building. So we've got some families that were literally devastated by this explosion. There's nothing that can be said. You know, I do not, from everything that I'm seeing and hearing, and, you know, I'm trusting my internal instincts here, and it doesn't appear that anything's afoot, okay? I'm not going down the conspiracy theory that this is a, some type of domestic terrorist, terrorism, or any type of terrorism. What it appears to me is it appears that this is an explosive manufacturing company, and somebody made a fatal mistake, and that fatal mistake cost 16 people their lives. That's what it appears to be to me. I think that's what we're going to ultimately find. I didn't see any gates around this building, but that was prior to me realizing that AES occupies a 1,300 acre facility property. And this is one of 8 buildings on that property. And so this was a building 600. And building 600 is the one. So it sounds like if this is building 600, this is obviously building 6. That's the way I would interpret that information. If we have, 8 buildings on a 1,300 acre property, and this is the 600 building, I would assume that this is the 6th building of the 8. So that's where we are. And, It's very sad because these people worked for a company. They obviously had some skill and had some understanding that they were working with very hazardous materials, and that was their job. And they took that. And there's a lot of policies and procedures that go in play whenever you're dealing with this type of material. Sometimes over the years, some of those policies and procedures may feel a little daunting or unnecessary. And some people may even consider missing or skipping those particular steps that they feel are daunting or unnecessary, even though that those policies and procedures are in place to prevent something like this should an accident happen. But they had very volatile type of components and compounds on site. This is one where it appears that, based upon, I guess, eyewitness testimony, they understood it to be some type of bomb triggering or explosion that triggered multiple little explosions. So it sounds like one fatal mistake in one area is what triggered different fatal mistakes or different fatalities in other areas, bringing the whole building down. Because when you're dealing with volatile components or material, and that's heated or altered in any way, now you're dealing with something that's altered, and it doesn't act the way it acts in its unaltered stage or state. So I think that's kind of where we are. Also, before we get diving into the Tennessee victims, I wanted to remind everybody and tell everybody, happy Columbus Day. Columbus Day is a national holiday that's been around since the 1930s. So I thought that I would give you guys a little insight about this. This kind of covers both sides of the coin. I'm not in it. Listen, in order for us to explore anything, including the aerospace, right? Including space, people had to lose their lives in order for us to explore. Everybody seems so up in arms this day and age about, indigenous people, our Indian lands and things like that. This stuff happened long before my time. I'm not going to get in it. I'm not going to feel bad that we are here in a civilized country because we had people come over here and explore it and turn it into a civilized country. I'm not going to feel shame from that. I'm glad that we choose not to act that barbaric anymore. I'm glad we've learned, but I'm not ashamed of our past here, okay? And I just want to make that statement because it seems like, us living in America, everybody's so offended, right? And we are Americans. Americans are melting pot, and I'm not going to be ashamed of being here or the history, but I can definitely embrace the history and say, maybe I don't like this. Maybe I wish things would have been different. Maybe I wish, humanity was a little different during these times. But at the end of the day, it wasn't. And this is our history, and we have to embrace it. We can't change it. There's no changing it, folks. Like, we can't go back in time and change it. So I'm not going to sit here and keep fighting a never-ending battle with people that are always highly offended about something. I don't care. It's not that important to me. The bottom line is we're here. We have a beautiful America. We are one of the biggest and most powerful nations on the planet, and we can be very thankful for that being our history and our legacy. How we got here, maybe not so pretty, right? We made a lot of mistakes along the way. I'm glad as human nature, we learn from our mistakes and we always try to do better. At least the good people do, right? Evil will always be evil. Evil will always try to find ways to conquer good people. So we can't look at that. But what we can say is that, yes, there were people living here. Yes, the Italian Americans encroached on that. Yes, English people came over here and encroached on that further. Yes, we stole land from the Indians. Yes, we did horrible things. Yes, we've owned slaves. Yes, that is our makeup. That is our history. And there's nothing any of us can do to change it. But what we can do is we can make sure that we always live right, right? We can make sure that we live in a very Christian, godly like lifestyle to repent those past. Even though we didn't do them, we understand why people have hurt feelings or this, that, and the other. I'm not giving land back. I'm not paying reparations. I'm not doing any of that nonsense. But what we can do is we can be proudful of even the ugly work that was done to get us where we are today. So Columbus Day commemorates Christopher Columbus's 1492 arrival to the Americas, though it was first celebrated by Italian immigrants in the 1800s and officially made a federal holiday in 1937, primarily through lobbying of the Knights of Columbus to gain recognition for the Italian American facing discrimination. The holiday's history is complex and controversial, with many indigenous groups protesting its celebration due to the tragic legacy of European colonialization, excuse me, I can't speak, and mainstream and mistreatment of Native Americans that follow Columbus's voyage, leading many communities to instead celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm going to go with history. I'm celebrating Columbus Day. Today is Columbus Day. It's what we've learned through our history. I'm not into PC, okay? So I'm not politically correct. I will never be politically correct, and I will always offend those that I need to offend. The celebration to controversy, early celebrations in Italian, and mind you, many people didn't really have these indigenous, like when I was growing up in the 90s, we never had people complaining, okay? I don't know where all this complaining came from, but, if you want to talk about our history, a bunch of Karens in America is really going to be the history of this era, is that all you guys complaining and being overly offended by every blessed thing. Weak, 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 weak. That is going to be your legacy and your history if you don't change, okay? I'm not highly offended about life, okay? Life is what it is, okay? We roll with the punches. We're very we try to do our best. Sometimes we fall short as human. Sometimes human nature wants to fall short. Hey, Karen, it's nice to see you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome to this. You've been part of the family for a while, along with your sister. So welcome to this crazy family called the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Even though you're not new to the family, we're gonna still give you your padded room. We'll give you your padded room. Have a great day. I hope you're having a wonderful day already. So, again, I'm not going to get into all of this stuff, but the widespread celebration of Columbus Day occurred in the 1900s in cities with large Italian immigrant populations who celebrated the explorer as a symbol of their heritage in a way to counter anti-immigrant sentiments. The Knights of Columbus, a Catholic and Italian-American service organization, heavily lobbied for the establishment of Columbus Day. In 1937, President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared it a national holiday. Shifting in time, in 1971, the holiday's date moved from October 12th to Monday, the second Monday in October, to create a 3-day weekend. That seems very self-serving. So, a day of contention, indigenous perspective, the holiday, and it doesn't give us a date when this happened. I'm just going to tell you, when I was going to school, I never heard anybody complaining about Columbus Day, okay? I'm just saying. Nobody complained in the 90s about Columbus Day. Now here we are in 2025 and everybody's bitching about Columbus Day. I don't have time for this nonsense. I'm half Native, not offended at all. Neither am I. Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Highly offended people. Alternatives to Columbus Day is to address these concerns. Many states, cities replace Columbus Day with indigenous. That's political correctness. I don't do political correctness. So happy Columbus Day to all of my beautiful people. And without Columbus, without us exploring, this land may have never been known. And look at where we are today. And we came from 14 92, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when life was new. This land was interesting. It was like a new adventure, if you will, the adventure of America. And I'm sure we can learn about that, in our history classes when we're talking about Columbus, when we're talking about Columbus Day. Many of you guys know I have a park, DeSoto Hernando Park, here in Manatee County, and of course we have Columbus parades, and we learned about Hernando de Soto. We have a Hernando de Soto parade, and I think it all kind of works, together. At the end of the day, yes, we came over here from a different country. Yes, we immigrated over here from a different country, and yes, we took over land that did not belong to us. Okay, that's our history. Okay, and what can we do about it? Okay, we went from an uncivilized land to a civilized land. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want? Don't tell me that the indigenous population hasn't flourished in this new country compared to them having to fight and hunt and all this other stuff. Don't tell me that we have not provided them a way to thrive and prosper. We've given them all the opportunities for gambling, right? They're able to give their own people monthly siphons because of the work that we did and the negotiations that we did to make the indigenous people healthy again and not have to worry. We did that. Nobody wants to give you credit for that, right? They want to say, oh, reparations. Well, what do you think we've been doing with the gambling for all these centuries? Or, decades, I should say. Probably decades, more in line. But actually it's been quite a while. The reservations, we gave them the reservations. Not that it's, the bitches, well, the whole country. Well, they didn't have the ability to do what we did to this country. If they did, they would have done it, right? They taught us things, we taught them things. Haven't we looked at the history of Thanksgiving, right? When we came together and decided to build this land. So I don't want to hear this indigenous stuff. People that are screaming these things and are being highly offended don't know our history and didn't bother learning our history and probably uneducated, okay? So we're letting these people that are uneducated out in these roads throwing temper tantrums like 2-year-olds dictate to us what we should feel and how we should think, right? Because they're PC, politically correct. I am not. I'm Bullhorn Betty, okay? I'm a realist, not politically correct. People come here to listen to me because I'm not politically correct. I'm going to say some things that are going to offend people, and people are going to go, oh my God, can you believe what Betty said? Yes. Trust me. The entire YouTube market could believe that if it's said, yes, they can believe it came out of Bullhorn Betty's mouth. I speak. I get paid to speak. I'm still speaking. I'm still offending. How many of you are pissed off about Columbus Day? Please raise your hand. If you are pissed off about Columbus Day, I won't even block you. I want you to be honest. If you're pissed off that we have a Columbus Day instead of an Indigenous Person Day, please put your hand up. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm proud to be, I'm celebrating Columbus Day. Okay, folks? If you didn't know, I'm celebrating Columbus Day. I appreciate all you Indigenous people. I'm part Indigenous too. But you know what? I'm also heterosexual, and I'm not throwing parties and down the street and having, blocking up traffic because I'm heterosexual and I want to celebrate it either, I'm that kind of person. So we'll continue to celebrate Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day. Stop calling us Indigenous. I'd like to just call everybody human beings or Americans because that's really what I am. But at the end of the day, we don't just have Americans in here. We have Aussies in here. We have Aussies in here, and we have people from UK and Canada. We are just people. I listen. I'm just reading what it says. If you don't believe me, they're the ones calling you Indigenous, not me. Okay, so don't be getting all offended and upset about me. Look, they're put it right here. Look at this. Indigenous person right here. I'm not calling you that. Google's calling you that. We native hate the name. We get called. That is awful. That is awful. So even political correctness is forcing stuff down your throat too. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, okay? Because it's actually kind of funny because some people don't realize that's you know what it actually identifies, like even BT. Like I know that she's not truly indigenous because she's always I'm so indigenous. I'm so and you're right because everybody that I know that comes from the land that's Indian or has like Apache or Cherokee or something like that, they want to be known by their name. They don't I have never heard a person of Indian descent, American Indian descent, refer to themselves as indigenous people. That's how I can always tell when I'm dealing with a freaking Karen. I appreciate that. Maybe we need to work on Google. Okay, maybe we need to work on Google because if people don't like being called, indigenous, and Google is force feeding indigenous down everybody's freaking throat, even the people that they're talking about, and the people that they're talking about considers it being rude. Well, maybe Google needs to be politically correct, because they're not being politically correct. My debit card was compromised. I'll return as a member when I get my lazy bum to. Oh, no, we don't pay attention to that. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate all the love and support that we get. But I can tell you, I do not pocket watch. If you're here as a member, you're here as a member. I appreciate all of your support. If you're not, you're not. I just ask that you at least give a thumbs up or share the live. That's the best way you can always help Bullhorn Betty and channel, especially when if you don't, because there's a lot of people in here that live on breadcrumbs. Okay, let's face it. There's people that have that live on disability and social security, and let's be honest, that's breadcrumbs. So they still love to help and love to support the channel as much as possible. So the best way you can do that when you have nothing to give is share, thumb up, write in the chat, say hi to your fellow people. That's the best way you can help Bullhorn Betty, right there. And it's all free. It's all free. You can do that. All right, guys. So let's get over to the Tennessee. What a horrible reality we're dealing with in Tennessee, where a bunch of great people going about their everyday life. Some of this stuff breaks my heart. I mean, all 16 people, knowing that they're never going home again breaks my heart. But there's just some stories that I'm going to let you guys listen to that, in all fairness, it just, it makes your heart ache. It doesn't break your heart. It makes your poor little, your heart just ache. And, these people were fathers and mothers and grandparents, brothers. It's just devastating, absolutely devastating. But we did find some of those people. I did want to read those people's names. I may have to pull up my show. Let's see. Let's pull up the show here real quick. Let me take you guys off because I don't want it to roll through. But let me pull up the show and we'll read all the people's names here and then go through this. Let's just pause this. Stop. Okay, we stopped it. Okay, so guys, I'm going to read all the names that we have compiled so far. I've got 12 names. I am missing 4 names. I haven't identified 4 people just yet. I wish I had a bell to ring, but we don't. We have a bullhorn. So since I don't have a bell after each, is as unprofessional as it is, I'd like to have a nice little dingy bell, but I do not have one around the house. I don't have one, so we're going to have to use the bullhorn for these, but we're going to go ahead and name the victims that we have so far. These are the victims that have been identified by their family on social media. So I have not, can we use another name besides Karen? Maybe Susan. Oh, absolutely, Susan. Absolutely. So what I'd like to do is, we'll just name them. So the first name is Trent Stewart. Melissa Dawn Stanford. Chris Clark. Reyna Gillahan. Brothers Erick Moore and Jeremy Moore. Rachel Woodall. Mindy Clifton. Billy Backer. Jason Adams. Stephen Wright. We have unknown 13, unknown 14, unknown 15, and unknown 16. May their family, friends, and community, mourn their loss, but pray that this never happens again. Our condolences from the Bullhorn Betty channel is sent out to that community, is sent out to all of the victims associated with this blast, their family, their friends, and more importantly, the children that are affected, that they do not yet understand what happened. So we just wanted to show honor to all 16 that lost their lives. I'm still compiling the list. I've got 4 more names to show honor and respect to, but right now we can only honor them as unknown at this moment. But we have compiled a pretty decent list here. So now I just want to get on. I want to show you guys some of the victims here and let you guys learn about some of the victims that we have and who they are, their families and such. So give me just a second. Let me go ahead and get this fixed. I don't like the way that looks. Let's see if we can do something a little more with that. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. We'll see. We'll play around with it. Guys, I'm about to play this. Can you guys tell me if you guys are hearing this? And it's going to take, we're going to have like a 20-second delay. But I need to make sure that that you guys are hearing what is coming out, and so we can adjust the sound. Yep, sorry, that doesn't.
Frustrating. I got very upset. I was mad. I wanted to know, where Mom was. Why they didn't take the rebel off. Mark.
So, were you guys able to hear that video playing? Yes, we can hear. Perfect. Okay. I no longer have every now and again I have to turn the monitor off, and sometimes I have to run the monitor and the mic through the same thing. The audio flips on this OBS for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'll learn it, but for the time being, here we go. This is Reyna Gillahan. This is her son. And, you get to hear some of the frustration from the families.
In the family of Reyna Gillahan.
I was very frustrated. I got very upset. I was mad. I wanted to know, where Mom was. Why they didn't take the rebel off.
Marco Gillahan remembers his mom as a hard worker who sacrificed where she could for her family, with her goal being to pay off her home, a way her family is now going to memorialize her.
We're going to honor her by paying the house off and following through with her wishes.
In the family of Reyna Gillahan.
I was very frustrated. I got very upset. I was mad. I wanted to know, where Mom was. Why they didn't take the rebel off.
Marco Gillahan remembers.
And we now know the reason why they couldn't take the rebel off is because of the instability of it. And this is where we get to for our next victims right here. we learn a little more about the victims of this blast. This is where I found 11 of those victims listed, and I wanted to get down there to you. I think it's right around here. Yeah. Is this the one? Yeah, here it is. So this will show you guys some of the victims. Let me make sure this is up right. No, it's not. I think we got it now. There we go. So this is where I kind of want to start right here. Let me just make sure that it's lining up on there. It is not, so... Okay, there we go. That's where I need to be right there. So it says the explosion, which occurred shortly before 8, I keep saying Saturday, it was Friday morning, sorry about that. The explosion, which occurred shortly before 8 a.m. Friday, destroyed a large portion of the AES manufacturing campus near Bucksnort, about 50 miles west of Nashville. The facility produces military, aerospace, oil, and commercial demolition explosives, operating across a sprawling 1,300-acre site that includes 8 production and testing buildings. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations is assisting with victim identification utilizing rapid DNA testing due to the severe condition of the remains recovered so far. Sheriff Davis said investigators are treating the site as a potential crime scene until a possibility, including foul play, can be ruled out. I can say we're going to rule out foul play. We can't answer that yet. Can I say we're going to rule out? I can't. They're saying we can't answer that yet. That might be days, weeks, or even months before they can. They're not wanting to jump to conclusions, which I appreciate. And I'm just telling you from what I'm hearing, we're not going to find out that there's foul play associated with this. The ATF National Response Team, composed of explosive specialists, bomb technicians, chemists, engineers, and fire investigators, arrived on the site Saturday. The teams have previously handled major national cases, including the Oklahoma City bombing, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, the 9/11 Pentagon attack. Their primary mission is to determine the origin and cause of the explosion using advanced forensic analysis and scene reconstruction. So right now, our bomb technicians and explosive specialists are working methodically to make the area safe. Once that is complete, our national response team can begin the full investigation. I don't think they're going in there and getting these bodies just yet, folks. I don't think they can. I think they're working on it, but I think that the site is so unstable, and they're so concerned about the other materials that I think they have to do this like literally brick by brick. Just my opinion. Among those confirmed dead or deceased is Trent Stewart, Melissa Dawn Stafford, Chris Clark, Reyna Gillahan, Erick and Jeremy Moore. So here's one. This is Jeremy Moore, his brother Erick, also in the blast. This right here is Trent Stewart. There's the one we just saw her son talking about her. That's Reyna Gillahan. This is the other brother, Erick. You can tell that they're brothers too. Look at her. She's sweet, sweet, sweet. Melissa Dawn Stanford. All these people gone, just gone. Moore's mother, Ava Hinson, said her son had been working in Building 602, the structure believed to have been completely destroyed in the explosion. The last I heard from him, he had dropped off his daughter. And that's one of the ones that we're going to get to that's just so heartbreaking. And was headed to work, Hinson said tearfully. It's unbelievable, the not knowing. I don't want bad news, but at this point, I'd feel better just to know. In a heartfelt statement, the log church where Pastor Trent Stewart served minister announced changes to its Sunday service in light of his disappearance. So Trent Stewart was a pastor of a church. Just awful. Just awful. So there he is. He's a pastor of a church, Trent Stewart. Just a bunch of just beautiful people. Here's the 11 other ones right here. This is Trent Stewart. Make sure you guys can see all these people. There's the 11 victims right there. Okay. And so let me see if I can pull this down just ever so slightly. There we go. So you guys can get a full. There we go. Okay, there's the 11 victims right there. I'll go ahead and read those for you. Trent Stewart, which is right here. I know Trent Stewart. I don't, Reyna Gillahan right here. I know her. Adam Boatman, I don't know which one that is. Melissa Dawn Stanford right here. Jeremy Moore. I know Jeremy Moore is one of the two brothers. I think he's right here. Because they don't have Eric on here. Rachel Woodall, Mindy Clifton, Billy Baker, Jason Adams, Steve Wright, and Chris Clark. They're, I know some of these people, but I don't know. But they look like a great bunch of people. They look like a fun bunch to work with. They look like they were, good with their jobs. It's hard to believe they walked into work one day and never walked out. It's awful. We've already heard this one, but this is the one. This is the one that's going to break you guys right here. Okay. This is very, very hard. There's one of the victims and his daughter, and he had just dropped his daughter off shortly before this explosion.
Dropped his daughter off with me this morning, headed to work. The last I've heard from him, he dropped his daughter off with me this morning, headed to work. And matter of fact, her mother is the one that called me and had seen some Facebook posts. And of course, I started calling everybody that I knew that worked there. And I did find out that it was the building 602 that he worked in, and that he was on the, still missing list. And that was probably about 8 o'clock this morning, and we haven't heard anything. He's still missing.
So a father drops his child off at, to go to work at the daycare at his mom's house. I didn't quite catch who that was, and goes to work and never comes home. Never comes home. So I also wanted to go through some more of this with you guys. So Trent Stewart name was the first to be confirmed among the missing on Friday's explosion at Accurate Energetic System in Middle Tennessee. The blast described was mass detonation, destroyed one of the facility's main buildings around 7:45 a.m., scattering twisted steel and vehicles across the site. 19 people remain dead or unaccounted for. The great news is that 3 of the original 19 are obviously safe, happy, and healthy. And, very lucky to be alive, because it sounds like they may not have been, alive had they made it to work or not run late, or maybe being at a different building at the time that the explosion happened. Just very thankful to be alive. And it's sad. But thank goodness it wasn't 19 people. It is 16 people. So 3 of those people survived. And there was 3 people that went to the hospital with injuries, but was able to walk away from this. The explosion was so strong, it shook homes miles away and triggered small blasts. AES manufacturing explosives for military and commercial use. I keep wondering if any other buildings were affected, like maybe not this damaged, but I don't know. She was just listed among the missing. Melissa Dawn Sanford, now one of 19 feared dead after the explosion tore through AES munition plant The blast hit at 7:45 on October 10th, 2025, leveling a major building at Bucksnort, Tennessee facility. It was so violent and triggered secondary detonations and shook homes miles away. AES manufacturing explosives for military. We know what they including C4. I'm curious about these other minor, because I thought maybe it was minor explosions within that building 6, but it keeps, the way that it's being written on these, I keep wondering if there was some underground storage bunkers that also detonated, or if there's another building on the campus or another area that also detonated, because there's something with these multiple, mini explosions that are that just they like I assume that they were in the same building, but the way that it keeps being written is not implying that they were in the same building, and so I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm assuming that they were in the building when they were not, that there may be some other mini explosions that took place there on that campus. I don't know. I don't know, but very interesting. Very interesting. This is just so sad. No survivors were found after 300 investigators searched the wreckage. The AES explosion in Bucksnort, Tennessee was described as a mass detonation, wiping out buildings and lives. Sheriff Chris Davis confirmed the devastation was worse than expected. Authorities identified Reyna Gillahan, Jeremy Moore, Trent. Do I have Jeremy Moore on the list? Hold on. Let me make sure I got Jeremy Moore on the list. Okay, I do have Jeremy Moore on. Oh, that Eric and Jeremy are brothers. That's right. So we have Jeremy Moore, Trent Stewart, Melissa Dawn Sanford, and Chris Clark. So we definitely have those. They're all on my list. We're still missing four victims. We're missing number 13, 14, 15, and 16. I do not have names for 4 of the victims, and actively looking for those. So if you guys know of other victims, please let me know. Let me read the chat here. I haven't read this. They had to be, my goodness. Wow. So we have 3 survivors. We might learn from them. No, because it's my understanding they weren't on that the reason why they were kind of incorporated into that number was because they had belongings and vehicles on campus but were not there. I don't know where they were, but it sounds like they were not there. But we did learn early on that after the explosion, now we don't know where these people were. Were they on campus? Were they somewhere else? Were they getting out of their car at another building? Because the detonation or radius, the blast radius is about a half a mile in diameter. If it was somebody from a different building that got injured, but we did hear initially that 3 people were sent to the hospital at the beginning, and that wasn't part of the 19 that they thought were missing. They knew about those people immediately going to the hospital because two of the 3 were immediately released with a non-life threatening injuries, and I think one was kept for a little bit longer but ultimately released either later that night or the next day. But that's really all we knew, and then 19 were missing at the time. Well, I think it was yesterday or maybe the evening before yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before's evening. Sheriff Davis came and said that they did find, because they had reduced that 19 down to 18, and we never knew what happened. How did it reduce from 19 to 18? And then we learned that it went from 18 to 16. And Davis said that it was because 2 people's belongings and vehicles were on campus, and they thought that they were in the building, and found out, fortunately found out that they were not. So those 2 people lived. I don't think they were even on site when the explosion happened, which again was a good thing. So we had 2 people that were not on site at the time. But unfortunately, everybody that was inside of that building is no longer. She was listed among the missing. Melissa Dawn Sanford is now one of 19 feared dead after the explosion tore through AES munition plant. The hit, we heard about that. Okay, let's keep going. And then, of course, we hear about Trent Stewart. He is one of the first confirmed victims, so they must have found him first. It makes me wonder what caused this. I have a few friends who live in McEwen, Tennessee. A few more friends live outside of town. I've been worried all day about them. AES explosive plant leaves 19 people are missing or feared dead. I'm grateful to have emergency team who came in today. Thank you so much for your time and help. Looks like an absolute war zone. This is one of the victims dropping their daughter off. This is Jeremy. So you guys can hear that it was the explosion, and it says Jeremy Moore dropped his daughter off and drove to work. He never came back. That just breaks my heart. And these are the 11 that were listed: Trent Stewart, Reyna Gillahan, Adam Boatman, Melissa Dawn Sanford, Jeremy Moore, Rachel Woodall, Mindy Clifton, Billy Baker, Jason Adams. Do I have Jason Adams on the list? Hold on a second. I don't think I have Jason. Oh, I do have Jason Adams on the list. And Chris Clark. So I've got all of them. The one additional one that we have that they did not put on their list is Erick Moore. Jeremy and Erick Moore. They keep listing Jeremy Moore, but not Erick Moore, unless Erick Moore is one of the survivors that was not in the building at the time. But that I got Erick Moore from another list from research that I was doing. But there's the I guess 10 of them right there, 10 of the 11 victims, which we've already went over. Let's see if I'm still trying to find the other 4 victims, but I don't understand why we don't know where the other 4 victims right now. We have been told by law enforcement that they have identified and spoken to all the families that they believe are affected by this blast. Basically, they've come out. He said we need to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. They believe there are no survivors of this blast. As you guys can see, there's nothing left. I mean, the building's gone. If something can take steel and concrete and turn it into powder, then we can use our common sense and our problem-solving skills that God gave us to understand what condition the folks inside that building and that concrete and steel must be. Ooh, it's definitely a hard conversation to talk about. I mean, this is very, very difficult for me. I can't imagine for the poor families and victims of this community. These look like great people, bright people that just wanted to have a better life for themselves. They had a great opportunity with AES. They knew what they were getting involved in, and they knew that they were dealing with highly combustible materials. And this building has been going on, or this type of work has been going on forever since explosives have been used, right? And they are regulated, and it takes certain licensures and certain companies to be able to handle those types of items. And so this was a very specialized craft and a specialized business. So having 16 specialized people that work with these highly specialized chemicals and stuff like that, it's very, very, very difficult. This business has been rocked to its core. I mean, granted, these people did lose their life and their heart, my heart, but these were very skilled people that did a lot of highly skilled stuff that not just anybody can do. So when you look at these 16 people being lost, it's so much more than just a loss. You know, it's a these were key employees for a business and a type of business, and all of them were wiped off. That whole business, at least that aspect, is at a standstill, a complete and utter standstill. I feel like somebody was walking along and tripped and dropped something, and like it was like boom, it was done. Like that's what I feel. It's either that or they were testing a new product and screwed up the calculations of the chemicals or something. I mean, something happened. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Something did happen. So, anyways, that's really all I have on the Tennessee explosion. You know, we have a situation where a business was rocked to its core. Not a whole lot we can say about it other than this was an explosive manufacturing company. Somebody made a mistake and it looks like the whole entire building went kaboom. Now I would have to say this is another thing that I'd like just to say for the record before we move on, in why I think that this was an accident as opposed to like domestic terrorism. I feel like if it was domestic terrorism, it wouldn't have been one building. If they could get to one building, I feel like they would have, set off more than one. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. If they could get on campus to do this and make such this big impact, I feel like they would have done more. That all of these buildings would have came down as a huge, demonstration, so to speak. And I just don't see that where that is the case. We've got one building. This is a building that handled a lot of highly combustible components. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where if you make a mistake, there's a possibility of not walking away from that mistake. So that's the kind of business they're in. They're trained to handle that stuff, and people make mistakes. It happens every day. And like I said, it may not even have been a negligent mistake. It was just a mistake, and it went and people lost their lives. Everybody lost their lives. Just tragic. Anyways, we're going to be kind of diverting. We've got a lot of different, hands in the pot, so to speak. Let's just go over some of the cases that we have going on right now that we haven't, that we've got. We got still, Summer Wells hasn't been resolved. Sebastian Rogers, Layla Santinello, Holland Snap, Caitlin Harp, that's kind of been resolved, but we still have all of the court proceedings and stuff like that we need to get starting to get back around to. The Devil Dens murder, Jaden Spicer, they put a new law in place for Jaden Spicer. Austin Drummond, we have the Tennessee explosion at the AES plant, which we've been talking about. Emmanuel Haro, still not resolved. We got Rex Heuermann, the Gilgo Beach serial killer. Alex Murdaugh's case, still not resolved. We may end up having a new trial because of what the clerk in Colton County did. Michael Monkey Vaughn, still no arrests in his case, even though we believe we know what happened. We also still have John Benet Ramsey that still has not been resolved in 30 years. We got our political stance and other stories and exclusive pieces that we're still working on. One of those stories and exclusive pieces are going to be related to adolescent juvenile crime becoming major violent, and culture assassination. Those are going to be two of our exclusive pieces that are going to be rolling out in the next 30 to 45 days with our reporting on that. But right now, we haven't really touched on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case. His case is losing steam. People are losing interest. Law enforcement is not helping in the case. Law enforcement is obstructing, and law enforcement is giving a free pass to Chris and Katie Proudfoot, which are responsible, in my opinion, for the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. They've been trying to get rid of him since October 2022, and it appears they were successful at doing so. I believe, in my professional opinion, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is deceased. In my professional opinion, he was unalived by his mother, and he was hidden by his stepfather. I do believe, in my opinion, he has been moved more than one time. It is, in my opinion, that he most likely may be scattered. What do I mean by that? You can go look at Adam Montgomery and his case and what was said about Harmony Montgomery. Over time, these things just happen because people get scared, paranoid, and they just want to make sure that the problem is gone. And I truly believe that happened. I believe Sumner County dropped the ball. I believe Sumner County was a fish out of water, and I believe they don't know their ass from their elbow. I do not believe that they did a good or thorough investigation. I believe they dropped the ball early on in this investigation, which caused a lot of time and problems. I believe that they're helping and believe the Proudfoots. I truly believe they're so stupid that they actually believe that the mom and the stepdad couldn't possibly do this because they've got money. Because that's the problem with country law. Okay? It's the problem with country law. They believe they're people, okay? Instead of actually believing, they lie. Sebastian was abused inside that home. I think there's enough evidence that supports that I can say that factually. And they still turn a blind eye. And when I say they, I'm talking about law enforcement. They turned a blind eye to this poor child. There's a $50,000 reward from the FBI. There's another $450,000 reward being offered by At Night Private Intelligence or Creative Intelligence outfit under the One World umbrella. I do believe that Sebastian is out there, but I believe that because of the law enforcement that has dragged their ass, didn't know what they were doing, and only looked for this child for 7 days, have failed this child even more over than the Department of Children and Family Services. And with them constantly egging on and supporting and protecting Chris and Katie Proudfoot, they have become nothing more than an accessory after the fact in the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Seth wants this to go to the FBI. The U.S. Marshals, which handle and find missing people all the time, have offered, and they were willing to look into this case. Sumner County forced them out. They would not sign the paperwork necessary to bring in the U.S. Marshals. The fight that Sumner County has had with social media and the Sumner and Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case has lost them $200 million in federal funding. They still haven't learned their lesson yet. They still have not got off their ass to help look for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers any more than they did over almost 2 years ago. Law enforcement in this area is a joke. They're arresting people that for DUIs that they did not commit. These people have no training, they have no money, and they have no common sense. And I'm saying this for almost the entire state of Tennessee. If you're a part of that state, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is not just in Sumner County. This is more widespread, and this is throughout the state of Tennessee. What I find in the state of Tennessee is that Tennessee has a lot of good old boys cliques in the state of Tennessee. You have a lot of corruption going on in your small counties, and you guys don't see it because as long as your county is running and you like the people that you're hiring, you just want to get along, and they are robbing you blind, and you are just allowing them to rob you blind because you like your politicians. And I can't help you in a situation like that. I can tell you have that if you live in Tennessee, you're probably 80% corrupt in your county. So you need to start evaluating your politicians. And if you're not, then you don't care about your money being stolen because that's what they are doing. Why in the world would they be in politics? Because they're stealing your money. They're wanting their will to be done. All those developers, usually you have people that support developers or do not, because that's where the majority of these small town money comes from, is the developing and the building. So they're going to be kind of, sucking the tit of these developers for more money and more building, because the more money and more building, the more opportunities that your county commissioners have to give their friends that build the parks, a job or this or that. So you got to be looking at these things and looking at what these communities are doing and what they are saying. I'm going to tell you the majority of your if you have people in office that have been there for more than 10 years or 20 years, you have corruption that's bred in your community. Okay? If they're there for more than 10 or 20 years, corruption is in your community. So the best way to break up corruption is start breathing new life in your community. You'll start realizing that you'll start thriving a little better. You think you're thriving now, they actually have their foot on your neck. You start recycling, getting some younger people in there, you'll get better results. But you got to be careful with the young folks too, because just like here, we had KVO. He came in, he was absolutely terrible for this community, and he was a generational like me. I was very pleased that he was on the board because I thought, okay, great, we have a Betty on the board, and he turned out to be a Bob, right, a BOB, and so I'm displeased. So I even have to be careful with my own kind, right? And what I mean by my own kind is it's just generational. Like he was generational. I figured he had the thought process that I did, and he appeared to, but he was so developed because he wanted money. He was very greedy. He was very greedy and wanted greed and power, and a short guy, right? He's short like me. So you guys understand that I think our politicians should be taller. And you guys may be thinking, I can't believe Betty's saying this. I'm a short person. I deserve that job. You do. I'm not saying that. It's just in politics, there's certain things. Can you guys agree that I've been around the block enough times to know certain things? And I see certain behaviors from certain types of politicians that it's so apparent in these types of politicians that I just don't want to deal with them anymore in the political realm, because I'm always going to have problems. I know I'm going to have problems because I've seen this problem before. And I'm sorry, there's certain things like these really nice, sweet women. You have no business being governor. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You sweet ladies deserve a lot of things, okay? But being a tough guy is not suited for you, okay? And governors and people of positions of power, you have to be ready to bring down the hammer, okay? And I don't see Marsha Blackburn bringing down the hammer. I just want to make sure I put this on the record. I want to make sure that this is on the record, okay? I need somebody that says you're fired, not putting something on the record. Marsha Blackburn is out, okay? Now, Bill Lee, after this explosion, you guys know I'm angry with Bill Lee because I need a task force for Summer Wells and I need a task force for Sebastian Rogers, and we're not getting anywhere with it. And I'm getting pissed off. So I kind of have my fight in, but if I had to choose between Bill Lee or Marsha Blackburn, I'm picking Bill Lee, okay? I'm going to pick Bill Lee. And if you guys don't understand why, then go look at his press conference yesterday out in front of that site. That's why. He's a normal human being. He's down to earth. And if I had to deal with it, I'm sorry, when I'm dealing with governor, you can call me a sexist. You can call me whatever you need to say. I'm going to pick a man over a woman, just because I think Marsha Blackburn's too nice. I don't even like her in the Senate. I think she's too nice in the Senate. I think we need to have, in this day and age, we need pit bulls that are going to fight for our rights, not just write a strongly worded letter. Just my personal opinion. And the reason why I'm focusing on these people is because Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is from Tennessee, okay? There are several main cases that are active and ongoing in Tennessee, and that's what my problem is. All these major cases keep going unsolved. So obviously that's telling me that if we can figure it out, and we know that we don't know the specificity, but see, that's the problem. When you go to court, you need to know the specificity. But we know that Summer Wells' mom and father are involved somewhere. I think it's her mom. I think they're both equal. I think Don Wells was home when they got home back from the water hole. The reason why I say that is because the boys were there. The boys were at work with him earlier that day. He tried to lie to my face, and I even called him out, and he couldn't answer my question. So, major case, Summer Wells, never solved. We've got Sebastian Rogers, major case, never solved. We have Layla Santignello, Major case, never solved. Holland Snap, not such the major case as the other ones, but she still came up in the ranks because we attached her with Layla Santinello. And again, another case unsolved in Tennessee. And when we have missing people, they can find missing people because they're truly missing. It's when their family has them hidden. It's when the murderers have them hidden that we have problems with Tennessee not being able to make the case. Tennessee is by far one of the worst states in circumstantial cases. They do not like circumstantial cases. In 2025, we should have more circumstantial cases than any other type of case because of the way of the phone, the cars, and everything else we have tracking us. We should have more circumstantial cases in today's society, not less. And Tennessee, by far, is the lowest man on the totem pole when it comes to those circumstantial cases. They don't know how to prosecute them. They don't trust that they're jurors. They think their jurors are idiots. That's their first misconception in the state of Tennessee, is that their people are uneducated. But they honestly believe that if they present a case to a jury, that their jury can't get it unless they have all these witnesses. That their jury is too stupid to identify that we can follow people with cars, that we can follow people with phones. Another major issue that Tennessee has is their lackadaisy on the infrastructure of internet. We have satellite. We have a lot of ways for people to communicate. They've got mountains and trees. There should not be dead zones. Not the level of dead zones in Tennessee. They are mismanaging money. Every other state outside of Utah can get their mobile stuff worked out. But it seems like Utah, Tennessee, and North Carolina just can't. They keep taking people's taxpayer money but not doing a whole lot with it. You guys need to be demanding this crap in your state. You shouldn't have dead zones. If you are in North Carolina, you need to be on the phone with your politicians saying, why do I have dead zones in 2025? There should be no dead zones in North Carolina. There should be no dead zones in Tennessee. Now, mind you, why am I focusing on these dead zones? Because these are tools that law enforcement uses when somebody murders somebody. They're able to track from these towers. If you don't have towers, you have a dead zone. And if you have a dead zone, that's where criminality thrives and flourishes. Sebastian, who upset your auntie, honey? Get Tiff out of here. I wish you people would just mind your own damn business and go to your own channels. Nobody wants your shit here. And if you're that fucking evil that you're in here all nasty and mean, first thing in the morning, what is wrong with you? I pray for you. Get some Jesus in your life and your heart, because you're going straight to hell. You're going straight to hell. And I'm surprised, Tiff from Tex, you dumb bitch. I'm surprised you're not as upset about Sebastian Rogers. I'm surprised you're not angry that his case hasn't been solved. It really does show the character of you, honey, as opposed to me. Get your shit together. Go find God. Go find a purpose. And go learn about yourself in life and quit being so nasty and mean to people. That's what I have to say to you. Have a great day. Have a great day there, Cupcake. I'm not going to sit here and be somebody I'm not. I'm not a nice person, okay? When people get under my crawl, I'm not a nice person. I'm not going to pretend, oh, honey, I can't believe you're having a bad day. No, fuck you. Go take your shit someplace else. You stink. Nobody wants your kind of stink over here on my channel. FYI. Take your stinky ass on, bitch!
I've never lost hope. My son is missing. He is not dead.
18 months later, and the mystery remains about what happened to this young man, Sebastian Rogers. The now 16-year-old seemingly vanished from his Hendersonville home in February of 2024. Patsy Montesino spoke with Sebastian's father, who is keeping the faith his son is still alive.
I want answers. Where's my son?
This father's love keeps.
Sonia reminded everybody the prices. If you would like to donate, obviously my mouth. We're going back to Sailor Betty. You know what? We're past the lawsuit with Queen Fat, and so we're going to be Queen Disgusting, Queen Crack Pipe allegedly. So we're going to be going kind of back. I'm done with the trolls. I'm done with the nasty ass people up in these chats. Oh, we need to add the troll video, don't we? Hold on, let me get the media source. Is it a media source? I think it's a media source. Let's see, where's our troll?
Sneaky gremlins love to fight, but we're here to set it right. Jump and duck, let's take a shot, turning trolls into what they're not. Whack a troll, let 'em tumble, let 'em roll. Swing your spatula or a stick, whack 'em fast, whack 'em quick.
And we got the pre-order new Waka Troll shirts. Look at that. Okay, all right. So for all the people that are out there, like Tiff from Tex, which we know that's not Tiff from Tex. We know it's a stupid troll that just wants to come in here and gaslight because they got nothing better to do with it. That's got to be a miserable life. For you trolls that you got nothing better to do than go over and mess with somebody's freaking channel just to get them to talk about you. That's pretty fucking pathetic. I.e., you're fucking pathetic. I just want to make sure you understand how pathetic you are. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for your life. If this is the highlight of your life, you are a miserable person. And I really, really hope you find a way to unmisery yourself. Okay? Because you are the only person that has control over how you feel each and every day. If you are waking up and you are hating life, it's because of you. Okay? You could literally go anywhere in this world and still hate life. You know why? Because you can't run away from yourself. So I would suggest you start working on yourself. If you're so angry and you're so miserable, that's a you thing. Okay? It's not a world thing. It's just you, babe. Okay? Because everybody else is getting along in life. Everybody else is just fine. Everybody else can act like an adult. But you. So it's you. It's a you thing. It's you. It's not everybody else. I just want to make sure you understand that.
Of 2024. Patsy Montesino spoke with Sebastian's father, who is keeping the faith his son is still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
I want answers. Where's my son?
This father's love keeps his efforts to find his son going. Sebastian Rogers went missing in February of 2024.
I've got a lot of memories of my son, but I'm not done making memories, and that's the point.
During the first few weeks, there were massive search efforts looking for the autistic teen. But as time passed, they stopped. Now his dad, Seth Rogers, feels frustrated with law enforcement. He says they're not doing enough.
Nobody's been arrested, and my son hasn't been found.
That's why he's standing outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
So I can look at that window, so I can see them if they come out.
Oh, and by the way, the sheriff wanted a pay raise. He didn't get a pay raise, so now he wants an office being redone. Do you know how many times he's gone to his county commissioner? At least 2 to 3 times that we know of, asking and begging for money for the sheriff's office, but not one time has he gone to ask for any type of resources to help bring Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers home. Not one time. Not one time has he, aw, thank you, Indy Mama, has he asked for any money for resources to help search for Sebastian? Hey, Panda Bear's mom. I'm not a troll. And stayed quiet due to Devlin. Devlin has failed by his adopted family. Sometimes I feel I failed him by not pushing his name out there. You've done more than anybody has done for that boy. I wouldn't feel bad. I mean, you worked hard where we debuted him on here, and it's not a case that we would have covered. So, I mean, you can look at it like that. Like you gave him some screen time here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So you fought for him. So don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever sell yourself short. There's a lot of people that come here and ask for me to look at this or look at that. And we can't. We just don't have the time because of other cases going on. And we stopped the show for Devlin on multiple occasions. So you've done a great job. So don't ever sell yourself short. 19 months, where's Sebastian, KP? Exactly. Go Daddy Go, 100% on the side. Yeah, and not only that, but this is going to be, that's right, I forgot. We have I want to do a little to work. You guys always like being in everybody's business. Come on, you know you do. You guys are in everybody's business. Okay, my audience is a very nosy, busybody audience. So don't lie. You guys are all up in everybody's business. Right? You guys are spying on everybody. I know you are. So now I'm gonna put those spy eyes to work. So what we're going to do now is I want you guys to go through all of Chris Proudfoot's clips, all of them. I want you to start going online, going to all these nasty hate channels where he thrives, and I want you guys to start clipping the most ridiculous shit he's done. The violent stuff he said, I want you guys to start clipping it. Start getting those little clips and record it and send it to Bullhorn Betty. Bullhorn Betty. Get those clips of him mocking Seth, telling me that he's going to run me over, right? Let's start getting all those clips. We're gonna put together. I guarantee we're gonna have a 2-hour video of nothing but Chris Proudfoot bullshit, and that's what I want. Yes, thank you. Send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I don't care how you get them to me. Just make sure I see them. Put in there Chris Proudfoot. Or Chris Proudfoot shenanigans, or BS Proudfoot, or fungi feet, or whatever VA. You know what I just realized? I haven't seen VA or Chaos in here in quite some time. He was the one with the fungi feet. Fungi feet. I don't remember. Fungal feet. I don't know. Where the hell is my Chaos and my VA? Where are they? Hashtag Chris Proudfoot. There you go. Crystal clear. I need to find my crystal clear shirt. If you guys haven't gotten your own crystal clear, now would be a great time to get it. Now that the stuff is settled down a little bit. Chris Proudfoot wears granny panties. A lot of stuff has been taken down. I wonder why. Well, because they want to run their mouth. So we've got all this stuff clipped and stuff. We've got a lot of stuff. I want to see what you guys can do. It doesn't matter what they've taken down. We've got all of it. I mean, I've downloaded. I've got shit. I got crap on my channel right now that's in that's in a file somewhere on YouTube. I can set up a whole entire YouTube file with all this stuff. But I want you guys to find those clips and start sending them to me. All the most ridiculous things, the stuff that just made you go, what an idiot, what an asshole, whatever stopped you and just like, I cannot believe this man, right? Clip it, send it to me. Every time he went off, every time he said he was going to kill somebody, every time he wanted to threaten somebody, clip it. Every time he mocked Seth, clip it. Every time he mocked somebody else, clip it. Every time he went on a rampage talking about Sebastian, clip it. Clip it real good. Dun, 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 dun. Just clip it real good. Dun, 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 dun. Just clip it real good. Clap it on, clap it off. Right? We're going to go over here like this. Hey, Jen. It's nice to see you. I missed you. Clippy, right? Clip it real good. Dun, dun, not. Just clip it real good. Dun, not. Just clip it real good. Dun, dun, not. Just clip it real good, right? Clippy, clip Chris. There you go. Clip Chris, okay? And when you guys are watching something, you guys are going to hear me in the back of your head. And you know what? If you doubt, clip, right? When in doubt, just clip. Clippy. Da, nah. We're gonna clip it real good. Okay, we're done. I'll have to do my singing debut another time. Voice changer. Let's see what I got.
Clip it real good. Was my voice off this morning? Because somebody, the first person I kicked out was saying that I was using some type of voice changing. Did I have, because I know I was having a lot of audio issues and I was trying to get those fixed. Was my phone? I'm a love machine. No, that was a troll. Okay, so there was nothing wrong with my voice. Okay, I was just making sure because I was having audio issues and I did move some of the stuff around to see if I could get, and I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I stuck it into something I didn't realize, because usually, like, even when I go to the male voice, I can hear it coming through the ear, monster.
I can hear that. It changes in my ears, so I can tell.
And then we have this. Hey, oh my gosh. This is the female voice. Can you believe that? Not a kid's voice, the female voice. This doesn't sound like a female voice. This sounds like a child's voice. This is the child's voice. Sounds pretty similar to the woman's voice. Woman? Child! Woman? Child! I told you they sound about the same. I can't tell the difference. What's this original purge? Let's try that. Why isn't it doing anything? Okay.
Let's go to original. Let's go to purge. We got
monster. What's the original purge? I keep hitting it and it doesn't do anything. Huh.
Okay. Well, we'll be I even have a concert button. Does that make anything different right there? The concert button. La. No? Okay, I'm done. I'm done playing. All right, done. Guys, I'm done. Sorry, I had to go on this little, rampage. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All right, let's get back to the story.
Joined by other supporters.
I am part of Team Sebastian. I just want answers. The community deserves to have answers.
Demanding another agency like the FBI get involved. I reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff with these concerns. In a statement, he said this is an active investigation. He says they continue to follow leads and coordinate with the FBI and TBI. He asked you to share the official Amber Alert poster and call them with any information as quickly as you can.
I think about Sebastian every single day, and it has gone on for way too long now.
Especially when we know it's echo. It's echoed. Did I start echoing again? Hopefully it didn't echo. Hopefully I'm not echoing. Put back on original. Let's go studio. Wow, it does kind of change the volume a little bit in my ear. Okay, good. But we have these issues where Sebastian Rogers, seems like a very very straightforward case. The child walked into, thank you, Jen. Jen's playing games with us. She's like, I'm a member. Yeah, she's been part of the family way too long. She's already got her padded room and her straitjacket, but I guess she wants an update. She wants to be closer to Betty. We're going to put her in the cell. Now, remember, I'm a screamer. I'm a screamer. Panda Bear's mom. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the insane asylum.
Jen and Panda Bear's mom, grab your straitjacket. We'll get you resized. We'll get you resized. Okay, we'll get you resized for your straitjacket. Maybe it was pinching you a little bit. Maybe that's what it's all about. I'm just joking. Okay.
Disappeared from his Hendersonville home.
And since then, his father says he's had no answers from investigators. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry shows us what he's doing this week to change that.
I'd like to know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is.
He deserves to be at home. He deserves to be around somebody that loves him.
Sebastian Rogers vanished in February 2024. Search efforts stretched across Sumner County, bringing in the TBI, FBI, and multiple local agencies. But after a little over a week, Sumner County Sheriff's Office announced they were scaling back and shifting their focus on the investigative side. Since March of last year, the Sheriff's Office hasn't held a press conference on the case. And Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian, says his calls to investigators have gone unanswered.
They won't speak to me since I sent them an email telling them about 15 things they needed to check. And if they hadn't done it, then you haven't done your job.
A year and a half later, Seth Rogers says he still has had no answers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and that's why he's out here today, demanding to know an update to his son's case.
Oh, and by the way, the hate channels made fun of this father. The stepfather, where this child lived, which I believe brutalized this child, decided to mock this father. Oh, thank you, Veronica. Veronica gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget. Oh, Mama Bear got it. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So, what we have here is a father fighting for his son. These are actions we want to see from a father, okay? When we start seeing people act like Chris and Katie, those are red flags, okay? They don't know how to act when a child is missing because they're responsible for that child missing, and they act like they're responsible for that child missing, trying to disguise that they're not responsible for that child missing. That's what we see, okay? That's what we see with their behavior. This right here, what we're seeing from Seth Rogers, is what everybody needs to see from a parent that needs answers for their child. It's not enough. It's been almost 2 years. They stopped having press conferences on this case on April 2nd, 2024. Let me repeat that. They stopped having press conferences on this case on April 2nd, 2020. We had two press conferences only, and this community and this sheriff's office has failed. We are going out there. Bullhorn Betty and Channel, that means all of you. I need you guys to take time off work. I need you guys to make planning decisions and plan this with me, because we're going to be out there on February 23rd to February 27th. Okay? Our main day is February 26th. I'm going to be out there all week. I'm going to be screaming into those windows, being right there where Seth Rogers is standing right now, and I'm going to be standing there the entire week. But the difference is I am going to be going through this case. I'm going to be going through their dirty laundry standing right there. I'm going to make this sheriff want to speak. He's either going to speak to me, or he's going to speak to the press, or he's going to speak to the FBI, but he's going to be speaking to somebody. We're coming out there. We're going to do it in the spirit of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I do not swear when I'm out there on the road, unless I get pissed off. But I usually don't say any cuss words, but I get loud. I get very pointed. My conversation is going to be directed at the sheriff's office. And of course, there's going to be some things talking about Sebastian. We're going to be talking about his parents. We're going to be talking about the psychology of the mom and the stepfather. We're going to be talking about the dirty laundry. We're going to air the dirty laundry out in front of Sumner County Sheriff's Office on the week of February 23rd to February 27th. Now, how this can go away is just make the arrest that needs to be arrested, bring Sebastian home, or throw the people that are responsible for disappearing him in jail. You know, it seems like common sense here. Quit lying to the public. That's another thing. Don't tell us that those were not flashlights. We know what we saw. This is what these idiot officers don't understand. When you screw with social media, you're screwing with some of the best of the best. We have investigators. We have body language experts. We have behavior experts. We have psychologists. We have state attorneys. We have past prosecutors. We have past everything here on social media. Don't ever underestimate the ability of social media and what we can do and the damage we can do, right? We can destroy somebody's reputation in a heartbeat, like we are doing with Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. We want to make sure that that sheriff that chose to piss all over Sebastian never holds office again. By the time we are done, he is going to be a beat cop. That's where I'm putting Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. Unless he wants to do his damn job and act like a sheriff, then he can act like a sheriff. But until then, I'm putting him back in a squad car, back in uniform, and back on the road. And I know he's sitting there laughing, thinking that this little girl, much like many people in past, never understood what I was doing. But my best secret is behind scenes, behind the closed doors. I do my best work. And never underestimate Bullhorn Betty. Never underestimate Bullhorn Betty, because you know what? Just when you think I'm down, I rise up very, very, very quickly. We are going to be there. We're going to be there in love. We're going to show this entire community that has failed Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers that he is loved and that they need to be his voice. We want the community to see that Sebastian means a lot to the world. Why doesn't he mean as much to them in that community where he disappeared from? We're going to be out there. We're going to be out there with people from that community helping us bring notice and bring awareness to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case. And again, this is happening February. I need 100 bodies out there at minimum. 100 bodies. Anything less will be a failure to Sebastian. Everybody has come to bat for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Everybody. You guys have pushed through so much. You guys have helped so much. I need you to do a little more. We have plenty of time to get you situated financially with work and everything else. If we need to, we can put together, a sheet so people can, if you guys need to come in from out of state, but you want to try to, reduce some of your costs, we can put women, different women in rooms together. You guys split the cost of the rooms. Right? We can do things to bring down the cost for you guys to come out here, but I need you guys out here. I need over 100 bodies out here. I need every single one of our content creators advertising this event. That's what I need. We do have a flyer. I'm going to be posting that flyer. I've got one other place that I'm taking that flyer to, but we've got a flyer. I'm going to see if we can get one other option. I've got a design person, just seeing if we can do it just a little bit better. Not that I don't like Sonia's work. I just want to see if there's anything that we can place, because I know that we have multiple things going on here, and I want to see if there's any way we can make the wording work, because what we've got going on here is we got a weekly event. Right? I'm going to be there from the 23rd to the 27th, but I want everybody to be there on the 26th. If you can come hang out with me multiple days, I want you to. But if you can only come out for one day, I want everybody to be there on the 26th. You see how that works? And so I want to make sure that the event flyer, I just want a second opinion. So that's where we're at. And so once we get that, we'll be off to the races. We'll have the flyer out to everybody. But I just want to make sure that we have the best conveyed message. You guys are going to look at them. I didn't just want one. We are voting on the flyer. I needed a second flyer. Nobody sent me a second flyer, so I had to get a second flyer to come in. So we'll be voting on those just as soon as I have that second flyer. Otherwise, we're going to be releasing Sonia's flyer out to the world so everybody can start getting plans made to be there. I need everybody there. Everybody that's been invested in the Sebastian Rogers case, that's here in the United States, that has the ability to get there, I'm going to need to ask you to be there. So that's where we're at. God bless you guys. We have a lot of more, just a few more things to go over, and then we're going to call it for the day.
While you up there in that office, I hope you're working on finding my son, because I'm waiting.
With a microphone in hand, joined by friends and supporters holding signs reading "Justice for Sebastian," Seth says he won't stop.
I don't get to take my son hunting or fishing. I don't get to play video games with him. I don't get to play cards. I don't get to watch movies. I get nothing while you're up there in your office.
We just want Sumner County to do something different to get different results.
Even retiring Sumner County District Attorney Ray Whitley says he is anxious to see this case solved.
Well, I don't like Ray Whitley. We're not going to play him. I'll cut him off. I don't like him. Don't like him.
153 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry is outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, where Sebastian's father made an emotional plea today. Caitlin.
I like Caitlin. She's sweet.
Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, was deeply frustrated when he spoke with me. He fears the case is going cold.
My son's been missing for 15 months, and they don't care.
Sebastian disappeared in February last year. He was just 15 years old.
I feel bad for Caitlin because she's a sweet girl, but, you know, she really does, unfortunately. And I'm sure it has to do with the company she works for. They sanitize everything. I know what Seth said. Whenever you're out here, if you give any interviews, everybody, if you're going to be attending, make sure you record those interviews for that person. I'd like to see all interviews in their entirety, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to show you what the people said and what the news recorded and reported. You're going to be amazed the difference in what it looks like, what it sounds like. I mean, you literally, like the news out there, you're conveying one thing and they've conveyed something completely different by the time they're done. Like, the people out there in the audience did not get what you wanted to convey. It got what they wanted conveyed. And that really, really bothers me a lot with mainstream media. So I made the mistake, like out at Charlie Kirk's memorial. I should have recorded my, I had my, body cam on, and I took that off. She didn't ask me to take it off. I shouldn't have taken it off. I should have kept it on and kept recording, and I didn't. That was my mistake for not doing that. But I digress. You know, at the end of the day, that's what I am accustomed to. I'm accustomed to them sanitizing what is being conveyed. Even, and then, like I said, I like Caitlin. I think Caitlin by far is one. She's got a promising career ahead of her, and I hope she does very, very, very well for herself in the future.
Initial search efforts involved local police, the TBI, and the FBI, but those physical searches have since shifted to focus on the investigative side. The last press conference on the case was more than a year ago.
I would love to see them actually conducting more searches. I'd like to have some communication on the tips that have come in just with me, so that I know that when a tip comes in, I'm not following up on what job they're supposed to do.
Seth says only one detective is actively assigned to the case, and that he is often left to chase down the same leads, also sent to law enforcement.
We need more than just one set of eyes on this case, but it all falls on my shoulders to ask people to help find my son. My son means something to me. These people should be doing their job.
In his push for progress, Seth...
That's the problem. The real Me Too is that's what we, you know, you would think that if they were going to start this case over or put fresh eyes or just go from the set, that they would have additional searches. Not one additional search since they closed up over almost 2 years ago. Every single case we have ever covered, every single one of them that has a missing child, there's multiple searches except Sebastian's case. Except Sebastian's case. Don't tell me these pigs don't fucking know what they're doing or what they're not doing. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going to say. Excuse my language. I'm sorry it's so brutal, but it's brutally honest, because that outfit is disgusting. They have stood in the way of justice of Sebastian Rogers every single turn of this case. Every single turn of this case. Eric Craddock has stopped the investigation. Brandon Carter has stopped the investigation. They've decided to be friends with the mom and the stepfather. The two people that were with this child. But they're too stupid to make the leap that the mom could possibly do this. The mom was AR'd at 5 years old. She's a freaking mess upstairs. She likes to beat on Seth Rogers in the middle of the night when they were together and married. But all of a sudden, she just stopped beating on people in the middle of the night? She just stopped. She just woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm not going to jump on his back today while he's sleeping and beat the shit out of him. This lady is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you're trying to get me to believe that she didn't have nothing to do with her son? Cut it out. Cut it out. The only people that have been obstructing this case is the Proudfoots and their law enforcement officer that seems to work for them and not work for the victim. But we're going to be out there. We're going to be out there. We got a lot to say. We got a lot to say. We're bringing down the hammer, and we are going, I am running it live. And I'm going to make sure there's signs. So everybody in that community, if they want to know what's going on and what's being said out there, they can tune into the Bullhorn Betty channel so they can hear what's going on. So they can learn about their government. So they can learn about their sheriff. So they can learn what's really going on. So they can learn about how corrupt that county is. Because I'm going to be discussing my case as well. What they did, how they conspired with the Proudfoots. Oh, we're stripping you guys down to your bottoms. We're about to embarrass the shit out of Sumner County. We are going in there to fight for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're demanding that his case be taken care of. His case be looking at. His case be actually investigated. Hey, Sumner County, why don't you sign the paper so the U.S. Marshals can help? Sign the damn paper. Sign it. We're waiting. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. I'm planning on coming in there and embarrassing your community if that is what you want. That is exactly what I plan on doing. I'm coming in there to embarrass your community. To show the whole entire world what you guys are willing to do to cover up the disappearance of a 15-year-old boy that's now turning 17. By the time we do this, will be 17. You want to protect the parents? All right, you make your bed, you lie in it. I'm just going to let you know that. I follow the law lawfully and legally. So Sumner County, the next time you put those cuffs on me, you better have about $2 million sitting in an account somewhere because I'm coming for it. You will pay me, you touch me again. You will pay me, I will bankrupt your county. You put your hands on me again when I'm not breaking the law. I will tell you that right now. Those are my fighting words. Touch me. See what happens.
Says he's reached out to lawmakers and is even drafting federal legislation aimed at reforming how child protection agencies and the Amber Alert system handle missing children's cases.
It's a federal oversight law
being rude to Sonya.
On places
Circle
like
back.
CPS.
Circle back. Get the circle back out of here. I got no time for your bullshit. Circle back. I don't like white liberal women, okay? So if you're a white liberal woman, you don't belong here. I'm very, very prejudiced to white liberal women. Like really, really prejudiced. I hate them. The only thing I hate in this world is a white liberal woman. So if that's you, don't come back to this channel. There's no need to even comment in this channel. We hate white liberal women. They're the most dangerous of our country.
DCS, the Amber Alert, getting it redone and taking it out of people's hands that don't care about the children.
According to the FBI, an estimated 460,000 children are reported missing in the U.S. every year. Seth says every one of those cases deserves attention, including Sebastian's.
A parent demands answers. We demand answers because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Screw Sumner County for doing this to a father. And they're going to say, well, we didn't do this to the father. You're right. Your citizens did. This child is a citizen of your community that you shit on. That's what Sumner County did. That's exactly what Sumner County did. You refused to help him. You refused to protect him. You protected, Sumner County protected his abusers. That's what Sumner County did. Sumner County, the social services, the child protective services, they catered and kowtowed to the parents at the peril of this child. And they are still doing it to this day. There's no way that Chris Proudfoot, that piece of shit, is smarter than law enforcement. There's no way. Because he's not smarter than Betty, right? Betty's smarter than him. That's why he had to try to throw me in jail. Right? Because Betty knew. Betty's channel knows. Law enforcement knows. They know that child walked into that house and never walked out. Yet you got managers, Parks and Rec managers, eating lunch with them, rubbing elbows with two people that could have murdered their child. That's not a good look for the county. Not a good look at all. And we're coming in to embarrass that whole damn community. If you cannot take care of yourself and you don't know how to look at somebody and say, you are a child abuser, you're bad for our community, we want nothing to do with you. If the county can't do that, if the Park and Rec manager can't do that, then fine, we'll put your face on a sign and say this is who supports child abusers. That's what we'll do. As we're waving to your passerbys. As we tell them, quit voting for corruption. Quit voting for the corruption in your county. By the way, if you want to hear the truth, go to Bullhorn Betty. Go to YouTube channel Bullhorn Betty. We're coming in February 23rd to the 27th. I hope everybody is there the 26th. And Sumner County, I will be sending you guys information in case there's counter-protests on how to handle counter-protests so it's safe, because I don't expect you incompetent pigs to understand how it works. But don't worry, when I'm out there, I'll call you yes, sir, or no, sir. But while I'm here, I'm going to call you a pig. Because Sheriff Snuggle Struggle, you are a pig. You are a pig. And I don't mean that in reference to you being a cop. I mean that you are truly just a pig. A human pig. So we'll be out there. We're going to be ruffling the feathers, but more importantly, we're going to be advocating for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're going to have his name. We're going to make sure the whole world is honking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. You're going to hear Sebastian's army, Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. You are going to hear our anger in all of our smiles, honks, and waves. You're going to know when we show up, we're here for Sebastian Rogers, and this is Sebastian's army. There's nothing you or the Proudfoots or your corrupt criminal enterprise called the justice system is going to be able to do squat about it. And if you do, don't worry. I've got plenty of retainers for law enforcement. Excuse me, for my attorney. For law enforcement. It's costing me a lot of money to do business in Sumner County, but don't worry, somebody's going to be paying me back. I promise you that.
We reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office for a statement. They assured us this case remains a top priority and said in part, please know that behind the scenes a tremendous amount of work has been done and will continue.
Behind the scenes, everything's so secret, right? Finding a boy, right, out there in the wilderness is so secret that you don't even see law enforcement searching for him. It's so top secret that we don't even see law enforcement because they do their best work in the shadows, right? Right? So every time I go there and I see them in their office, I guess that's the shadows that they do all their great work in. All their great work in.
Aspects of the investigation.
And I keep wondering, what's law enforcement and their court system's going to do with Bullhorn Betty when I don't break the law? Like I told them before, there's not a damn thing that they could do about it then. There's not a damn thing they're going to do about it now. Why? Because I follow the law. Their officers And their judges can't do shit to somebody that follows the law. I said it before. I got arrested for saying it. And I'm saying it now that I have been vindicated of any criminal wrongdoing. What the hell is Sumner County going to do when we come out there advocating for Sebastian Rogers? We are going to make it loud. We're going to make it noticeable. And by God, you're going to pay attention. You're going to pay attention. I hope you have some new information before we get out there in February. But we're coming out there to embarrass you and to lift Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' name up. Where's his bench, Sumner County? Where's any type of memorial to this young man? You just want to sweep him under the rug and act like he doesn't exist. Why? Do you think he's defective and doesn't deserve to be found? I mean, his mom does. So does Sumner County as a whole think that autistic children should just be evaporated? They're not worth it? They're not worth the time? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's just autistic and everybody just says, you know what? He's not like us. He's not like us, so we don't need to worry about him. He's not like us. So nothing to worry about over here. I don't know.
Investigation are not visible to the public due to the sensitive nature of the case.
Not visible to the public due to the sensitive nature of the case. It's a missing boy. What's so sensitive about a missing boy? We have missing children all over. And you know what? Law enforcement are talking about their cases all over. We have homicides all over. And wouldn't you know that law enforcement talks about those too? They keep their public informed. So why is it such a state secret and such a sensitive matter of a case? Why is this case so special than any other case going on across the United States of America? It's because it's corrupted. This entire community and the people that reside in it are corrupted. And it's easier just to for the people that aren't corrupted, it's just easier for them to stick their head in the sand and act like they don't see it. So they don't have to address it. Because people by nature in this community are weak. Nobody wants to say anything. They're scared. Can you imagine? Like, I'm not scared of anything anymore. I'm not going to have any law enforcement or county or government tell me what you work for me. You're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do if I'm following the law. Hell no, all day long. Yet these people in this community, they don't care. They know the corruption exists, but it's not bothering them. So they just want to get along to get along. They don't even care about doing the right thing because all they want to do is they just don't want the drama. They don't want to have to fight for it. They don't want to have to work for it. Let it be somebody else's problem. Lazy, weak people. Lazy, weak people. But everybody in the country wants to act like they got big balls. Okay. You don't. Let me just be very clear. You got a lot of weak people. Those men in there that act like like Bullhorn Betty can piss further than half those men. And I don't even need to have a penis. I'm just letting you know. The community's weak. You're going to continue to be weak, lazy. Thank you. Weak and lazy. Until somebody steps up to the plate and decides, hey, we're not going to be weak and lazy anymore. Right? Where's the mama bears out there? I haven't even heard one lady stand up in that community and start really taking the bull by the horns for this child. If it was here, you'd have 15 mamas here in Florida fighting with our law enforcement here. 15 mamas. And we get up there and you got to have Bullhorn Betty transported in to fight for a kid in Sumner County. It's sad. It's sad, but that's all right. Don't worry, Sumner County. Bullhorn Betty's here to rescue, okay? We're going to be here for Sebastian. You guys just stay home. We'll bring the people that love Sebastian into the community, okay? I don't have to pay them to show up. I don't have to ship them in on buses. All I got to do is say, hey, you know what? We have a child that's missing in a community that has failed them. How many people want to fight for this boy? You're about to see how many people that's going to fight for this boy. You guys want to sit down and stand down? Fine. We will not. We're Sebastian's army. We will rise to the mission. We will rise to the mission. We'll do it well. We'll do it respectfully. We'll do it lovingly. We'll do it in honor of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers with some minor exceptions. Those minor exceptions are as I'm going to paddle the ass of the sheriff in public. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paddle the ass of the sheriff in front of public. That means I'm going to take my bus. I'm going to run over him. I'm going to let the whole community know who they are voting for. I'm glad the DA Whitley is retired because he was going to be pushed out one way or another. I can guarantee that. A lot of people don't realize you don't need a lot of money to get stuff done. You don't. You need passion, you need heart, you need determination, and you need tenacity. You get those things done, money, you don't need it. You don't need money to get things done. I can promise you that. I've worked on some of the campaigns that had the smallest budgets in the world, and we had the biggest impact because people stood behind, door knocked, phone called. We'll make it work. We'll make whatever budget we have work. But we're going in, we're cleaning up this community. We're going to liberate this community. This community will never have to worry about the Good Old Boys Club ever again, or corruption in their county, or at the level it is. I can't guarantee no corruption because we're dealing with politics here, but we're going to remove a lot of that corruption out of that county. It's going to take me years to get it all done, but I am committed to that community. They don't know. The minute they put those cuffs on me and they thought they were going to school me, they had no idea what they were really getting involved in. You do not fuck with Bullhorn Betty. Okay? And when you do, there are consequences to be paid. There are a lot of consequences to be paid. Like I said, there are a lot of things I can't control. State budgets I can't control. But federal funds, I can kick and scream and pull some federal funds. Done it before. I know how to do it. I don't need to be big. I don't need to know this person. I don't need to know that person. I just need to have some very good, strong communication skills and the ability to constantly keep the pressure on up the food chain. And that's one of the places that I excel the most when I'm sitting here behind the screen and these cameras are off is my advocacy, my private advocacy. That's what keeps me above board in all of this stuff. I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to work. We're in Tennessee now. We're going into Kentucky. We're going to make some changes. We're going to liberate the people from corruption. I've seen enough corruption in those two states to last me a lifetime. There's corruption in every state. But when it starts personally affecting me, well, you know, it's kind of funny how it gets my attention a lot quicker. So we were just going to do Tennessee, but since Nate Morris is putting his hat in for a senator run, I'm going to be supporting him, and in order for me to support him, I've got to be able to get Massey and Paul out of Kentucky. And so, am I going to be successful? I don't know. All we can do is try. All we can do is get out there. All we can do is start getting into some of those meetings and businesses and getting in front of some politicians. You know, I haven't even started that venture yet. We're just kind of cracking the egg on that. I actually have it on my my list, political calls, Kentucky and Tennessee. They're at the very top of my list. When I get off here, that's when I'm going to be starting to reach out to all of the GOPs, all of the private groups, and start getting some dates and times set up for me to come and speak to the people there. You know, I'm going to need things made. I'm going to need some flyers made of what our agenda is. What is the purpose of me going out and being in these communities? My purpose truly is to change the elections in those states. Those states are starting to affect our overall governance of the United States. And when I start seeing a whole bunch of people in one specific state like Kentucky obstructing, the whole entire state of Kentucky is obstructing MAGA. You're done, son. You're done, son. MAGA is too big. You don't want to sit here and monkey F around with MAGA. So now we have an entire state being obstructionist between Tom Massey and Rand Paul, I'm done. You guys are going to be moved out of your offices very, very quickly if I have anything to do with it. And I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of support in the state of Kentucky to do that. But we will find out as I start getting into Kentucky and I start doing some spots in that area and see where we are and what areas we need to focus on to start making changes in there. Because right now, I only know what changes I want to make in Sumner County, right? But the whole state of Tennessee, if what I dealt with in Sumner County is happening anywhere in the state of Tennessee, we need to get that nipped in the bud very, very, very quickly. So I will be getting out there. You guys are going to start seeing me. We're going to be covering cases while we're in Kentucky and Tennessee because that's how I pay for these political trips. But make no mistake, I am going to Tennessee and Kentucky to start getting these small groups rolled out so we can start getting our people in place in those two states. I usually don't go local. It's usually, state people, the House, the Congress, the House and Senate. But we are going to be making special efforts in Sumner County, as you guys can imagine, to make sure whatever happened to me never happens to anybody again. I am committed to Sumner County. They have and I say this again, they have no idea what they created. But if you don't think I'm making changes in there, and your people are not going to be able to stop me, I can promise you that. They will not be able to stop me. I'm going to be funded very, 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 very well for Sumner County. And we are going to fund very, very, very well in Sumner County. So step aside, hold my beer, and we're going to be successful. So I appreciate that. Thank you all for those that have been gifting Bullhorn. Alicia, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let me just go through here and say hi and give thanks to all the beautiful people. I see we got 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. We got a Bullhorn Betty membership from Sonia, 5 from Sonia, 1 from YouTuber, and it's my ring. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that, Alicia. Look at all this. Thank you guys. You guys lit up the chat. Thank you guys. Thank you. So Melanie says, happy Monday, Betty, Delilah, mods, and chat. Continued prayers for Middle E and family, and prayers to family members who lost their loved ones in the Tennessee explosion, and much love to you, BHB. I do always appreciate you, Melanie. Thank you so much. Connie, and which is not Connie. We need to go by Susan. We'll call Connie. We'll call Connie's sister Susan for today. So Susan, thank you for becoming the newest member of our crazy family we call the Coffee Club, even though you've been here for 9 months. So thank you for that. And Dee, I missed you. Dee's mystery says prayer for Tennessee families. Thank you, love. I missed that. I'm so sorry. Indy Mama, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Jen. Maud, hugs and kisses to you, love bug. She's been around the block a time or two with us. She's always been a family member, but I would say she's made it official, but she's been official. So I think she just wanted her name up there so she could. She's thinking it's April Fool's Day today. That's what it is. She thinks it's April Fool's Day. Panda Bear's mom, thank you so much. Veronica gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Oh, Rose, I missed you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Big hugs and kisses to you as well. Thank you. And Alicia did. She's been part of the family for a long time as well. At 14 months, I missed my renewal. Oops, that's okay. We still love you. And then, of course, YouTuber and Sonia gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships. Thank you to both of you two. But for the beautiful 6 people that received the coveted Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. And Donna, thank you. Good. Oh, you've been with us for 8 months. 4 more months. I might have to do my Brando. Happy birthday to you. All right, we're not going to do it. We'll do that. We'll do that back in another 4 months. So thank you all so very much for all the love and support that you guys show this channel each and every day throughout the weeks, months, and years that we have been a part of the YouTube family. We still have a lot of haters out there. I gotta tell you, I'm over the haters. I really am. I'm over it. It's like, life's too damn short. If you want to be angry, go be angry. Don't be dragging people in your anger with you. I'm over it, I love people. I want people happy and healthy, but I'm sick and damn tired of people being so nasty to one another. You don't want to be treated like shit, then quit treating other people like shit. So if you want to know why I'm cussing these people out, because they come into this chat, they treat people like crap, and I'm over it. If you don't want to be treated like crap, then don't treat other people like crap. Because I'm not the one. I'll make you cry, send you back to mama, and then go pray on Sunday. God says that's not what prayer's for, but you know what? I'm one of those people that I'll give you exactly what you give me. I do not take the high road, folks. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I'm Bullhorn Betty. You can pray with me, but don't play with me. I will drag your ghetto ass right to that frickin', gutter. Buy your toenails. Just saying. I don't know what it is about me and toenails, but apparently I like the pain, baby. Apparently I like the pain. I'm just saying. If you value your toenails, don't come stepping, okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't be stepping. Might be war out there. Oh, thank you. 32 months. Wow. It's depressing to be... Exactly. Toxicity eats you from the inside. I'm a hater of haters. Exactly. Tired of hate. The hate too. Just knock it off. I'm just tired of it. There's more to life. So we're going to tune the hate out. We're going to continue to look, to look at these cases and to keep fighting for these cases. Sebastian hasn't been found. He's been missing for almost 2 blessed years. By the time we're standing out in front of that Sumner County Sheriff's Office, it's going to be 2 years. Sebastian disappeared from his mother. And we know how some of these crazy moms are. All right? So I'm sorry if Sumner County's too stupid to look at mom, but we're not. We've went around the block too many times. We know that this lady is messed up in the head. We know she has to be messed up in the head just for her lifestyle alone. It's not my fault. I didn't put her in this lifestyle. Her mom did that to her. Okay? But she's a messed up chick. Chris is a messed up dude. Okay? I don't know if he got dropped on his head, his mama let men just beat the hell out of him or what. But there's something seriously wrong with Chris. So, are you reporting on the victims of the explosion? Yeah, you missed that, Tyler. I'm sorry, you've missed that. We went over the victims. This is the list of the victims that we have right now. Let me get this. Hold on a second. We'll go over these. We rang a bell for them. Well, rang the bullhorn for them. So I'm missing 4 of the victims. Just to kind of, it's always drama. It's always drama. Have a nice day. Wow, we got a whole bunch of people. I know that this is one person keep creating, because you know what? They wait 20 minutes to come in here. So it's one person creating multiple emails or whatever to come in here to gaslight. So now that we know what they're doing, I'll put it on 5 days. It doesn't bother me. The people that are here to support me are going to support me whether I put it on 5 days, 10 days, 12 days. The only people that are going to be upset about it is the stupid idiots that like to troll people and gaslight people. So why don't you guys just, grow up, quit being so nasty, and just live life and be happy and stay the hell away from people that don't make you happy. That's all I'm saying.
Sebastian's family continues to ask for the community's help. If you know anything about Sebastian's whereabouts, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI.
Well, there's only 2 people, a family, that know where Sebastian is, and it is my belief and opinion that it's Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot. They know where Sebastian is, or the pieces of him. Then you got Chris's mom, his piece of shit mother, and her husband. So there's 4 people, and I believe his disgusting, fat, pig, purple hair sister that looks like a freak, I'm pretty sure she knows as well. you know? So those pieces of shit out there in Sumner County, those white trash pieces of shit, I truly believe that they're the ones that know where Sebastian is, and the only way we're going to find them, because let's face it, the law enforcement out there is garbage, is if they decide to break their silence and tell us where Sebastian is. But I don't see that happening because they don't need money. They've got the whole county in their pocket as is, so... You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know, Sheriff Snuggle Struggles that likes to rape women, allegedly, according to that. Well, he doesn't like raping women. He thinks it's a snuggle struggle, right? He thinks rape is too strong of a word. Too strong of a word. Rape's too strong of a word. It's snuggle struggle. He likes to snuggle struggle. I digress. I find it highly disturbing. But hey, you know what? That's what his wife wanted. That's what his wife gets. And I've also found out that he's probably not what a lot of people think he is. I found some intel. And never mind the fact that they're hiding SA stuff within their county. A lot of people, from coaches to other people, we're finding out a lot of dirt. That's right. That's what we were before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We were diving into all of the undercover stuff. We're going to have to get a list of all that. I'm coming out there in February to embarrass the crap out of this. This means that we're going to be going through their employee roster and showing how coaches you know, don't mind their students being SA'd and then blaming the student for tattletaling. Sumner County is corrupt and are helping Chris and Katie cover up Sebastian's disappearance. The world is watching too. I agree. I absolutely agree. So that's kind of our story. I get a little hot and upset when it comes to Sebastian Rogers. We will not allow the hate channels to try to stifle this story, which is what they do every time we talk. And we got Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot. Now, I just want to remind all the people, once I find out who you are, if you're associated with Chris and Katie, I'm going to be moving to have them arrested, right? Because they're actively having their people come here and having indirect contact with me, right? Every time their PI speaks about me, I'm going to be asking the courts to have them arrested for each and every one of those incidences. Okay? So if you are speaking to Chris and Katie and you're coming onto this channel and harassing me thinking nobody's going to find you out, when we find you out, the people that are going to pay for that are going to be Chris, Katie, and the Bower Sox. And I know you're going to say, well, you don't have to worry about it because the law enforcement is corrupt. You're right, they are corrupt. That's why we're going to make sure we go around them, over them, or under them. We are going to make sure that people are held accountable for what they did. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Somebody is going to be held accountable for what they have done. And I don't mind doing it the hard way. Been doing it the hard way since this started. Because I haven't shut my mouth. And I'm not going to. Sebastian needs to be found, and the idiots running this frickin' organization and this investigation need to get off their ass and start doing some work for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. If you're not going to do the work for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, tap out and hand it to the FBI. It's that simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tap out and hand it to the FBI. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that, DC. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, please be safe and, more importantly, kind to one another. Within reason, right? Within reason. I always want to be kind to people, but people haven't been kind to me, and I'm not going to be sitting here and being kind to people that want to tear my head off. You all can kiss my ass if you don't like me. Just don't come over here barking, right? This is my channel. Go get your own channel. Oh, that's right. Nobody would listen to you. Why? Because you're crazy. You've got mental illness. That's why. You wake up and create accounts to come and troll people like morons. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. We will see you soon, most likely this afternoon. Be there or be square. God bless each and every one of you.